Hey guys, this is here bringing you another video and a welcome to another episode of Challenger Spectate or Grandmaster Spectate. I think we're in Grandmaster technically. Today we're actually doing a request. A few viewers actually said, you've seen a few Nidalees in your own games. You actually comment on like, do Nidalee players like the demons of SOLOQ? Why don't you watch one? So that's what we're going to do today. Before we actually get into the actual commentary, just to mention, apologies for all like the replay stuff recently. Hopefully some of you understand. I've seen a few people not really be understanding, but it was my birthday recently, so we had the master promo around the birthday, and I actually wanted to have a nice birthday. So I haven't had enough time to like do a big stream to kind of bulk record again, so that was just the way that it's gone. I know 99.99% of you are very understanding, but obviously it's worth mentioning. If ever, you know, every single one of my personal SOLOQ games are streamed. If ever you want to just watch the stream, the VODs are available. They are locked to Twitch subscribers, but if you want to throw me your monthly Primer, etc., you can watch the VODs, and then you can have kind of like the live commentary version, even if we don't upload the live commentary and we do a replay over it or something like that. Obviously, there's usually a reason that I'm not doing or uploading the live commentary. Usually it's not very good. And these type of videos, obviously this is a Challenger high rating spectate, they are better. They are clearly better than the live variant. That's why I do it in that way sometimes. And, you know, again, has to be said, 99% of my videos we do in the live format. But yeah, you can't apparently please everybody. Anyway, we're watching Nidalee because, as I said, she is a demon of SOLOQ. The player that we're watching right now is in Grandmaster, and it is definitely someone's alt account. Again, you can see the name is Finry Intercount, obviously kind of probably a meme. I don't know if Finry is their main, but it's a Nidalee main, and I can give you guys the stats because we know it's a Smurf because last year, so it was ranked in last year, the account got to Master. Right now the player is in Grandmaster, 606 LP. Hilariously, some people may go, damn, 606 LP, that's pretty good, and it is, obviously. Yeah, that's not what I'd actually even call safe in Grandmaster. I believe the cutoff for Grandmaster Master at the moment is about 550 LP. It's ridiculously high at the moment. Like, honestly, I don't know why Grandmaster is so high. Normally, I would say Grandmaster used to be 300 to 400 LP, but now it's 550 LP. So, who knows? But the player is rank 21 in the world on Nidalee. Rank 4 EU West, averages 10.3 kills a game, 3.9 deaths and 9.2 assists, has played 64 games and has got a 68.8% win rate. So very, very good stats. And as you can kind of see, by the way, one of the biggest strengths of Nidalee is her early game clear is nuts. So if we just paused it and just have a look at, you know, Udyr, not known as the strongest jungler, but not known as one of the worst, really. So he has cleared all of his red, and he has also cleared, it does seem he's kept up with Nidalee pretty well. He's on his final buff, where Nidalee is just about clearing her final camp. So Nidalee is known to being really fast, and, you know, Udyr's actually doing a good job keeping up. But they might time themselves, obviously, both to be at the same time, you know, ganking, you know, bot lane together, but we'll see how that goes. So comp-wise, Aphelios, Renata, very strong lane. Aphelios, a very strong champion. Gangplank still strong up in top lane. Victor still just solid as a mid lane champion. And then you've got Twitch Tam. Doesn't seem that great. Here is, oh god, Echo already. So Echo players, kind of like Katarinas, you could kind of say, roaming already at level 4. Nidalee gets killed in first blood. Renata's going to get killed too. And yeah, Victor's tried to make his way down and will pick himself up a kill, but Aphelios goes down. So yeah, bit crazy that already the Echo is already in bot lane. Obviously Victor is bot lane too, but he had to follow the gank. That isn't, I wouldn't call that typical or normal. That is a bit early even for an Echo or something like that. At the same time, by the way, while all that was going on, wait, why did the enemy team have 4 kills? Yeah, Gangplank died to Gnar. At the exact same time that was all going on. So that's not good for Gangplank. Honestly, a little bit surprised that he died to a Gnar. Gnar is... I like the champion, but he's not the strongest champion, it has to be said. So now Renata in the area. Udyr going a little bit too ham and cheese. Trying, you know, to use his early strength that he got. And it looks like he gets shut down. That's a really big kill. Again, why is there Renata around mid lane? Well, again, maybe for that specific thing of... they're probably going to fight for that Scuttle Crab. I'll go have a number advantage and we can kill the Udyr. And that worked really well. So that's not bad at all. You can see the Echo is wanting to stop the counter jungling that's going on. And all the pings, by the way, is the Twitch. So now, again, typical Twitch one-trick player, I presume. They are really odd in the fact that that is a Twitch AD carry, not in bot lane at all. He is roamed to mid lane as an AD carry at level 4. Only one type of AD carry does that, and it is Twitch players. They are a bit weird. I can't remember the order that we're uploading videos. There is possibly... It might have already happened. One of the games that we had recently, where there was a Twitch one-trick on the enemy team. Ah, yeah, that was the Mal's game. So if you watch the Mal's game that came out earlier today, that was the exact same situation. That was a Twitch one-trick. And he was the type that roamed to mid or roamed top lane at random times and got random kills. That's just part of that champion's kind of ethos. It's odd. Echo's hit level 6, which means he's pretty much immune to everything. Nidalee was kind of waiting, though. Very nice patience by her, and we'll pick up another, I believe, shutdown. By the way, just to go through the rune, everything on Nidalee, she's running Dark Harvest, which means she's probably trying to go for that spicy one-shot build. With eventually enough Dark Harvest stacks. So yeah, Dark Harvest, Sudden Impact, Eyeball Collection, Treasure Hunter, so he's looking to get kills on multiple people and Snowball, Transcendence, Water Walking, and then Attack Speed, Ability Power, and then Health. Doesn't even go Armor, doesn't really need it, gets that Health instead. Not too bad. So bot lane, they do a trade, but again, technically not great for the enemy team, because Aphelios ends up with 1 kill when they had number advantage. So that means Aphelios actually did a pretty good job considering things. Udyr being incredibly heavily involved in the game, I think that is quite easy to say, and jungle camps are respawning, so Nidalee was potentially going over to try and steal that red, and I think what happened there was they saw Echo was leaving mid lane topside, so Echo might have been running over to that red preemptively, expecting... What the hell? Expecting the Nidalee to go for it. But never mind. Udyr gets killed to dragon of all things, and Echo does actually finish up the dragon. It's very rare to see a jungler get killed to a dragon nowadays. Gank potential in top lane. Again, if you're not, you'd have to ask why is he running this way. It just gives away completely that there's a jungler coming. And yeah, so nothing gained. Gangplank ult used. Not the best play, has to be said, but it is at least, you know, no one's died, with Gangplank already being 0-2. Don't really want... Well, Gnar is definitely a bit more of a lane bully than Gangplank is, but Gangplank, I will say, he shouldn't really be dying to a Gnar. So they've got Vision of Udyr. They have a ward up in this bush, which is always nice. Oh, that might be a mistake by Gnar. No hits by Nidalee, and that will be back there. What are you doing? Bit of a misplay there by that Gangplank. Udyr coming top lane, they should just walk away. But yeah, one thing is also prevalent, I will say, that you'll see throughout this replay. Meanwhile, Aphelios dies again in bot lane. It's something that I mentioned again in a recent video. It's a weird premise, and I know it's technically what you're supposed to be aiming for when you're playing something like Nidalee. But if you'll see it all the time in my comment section occasionally, or other YouTube comment section, or when you're watching pro play. If people are playing something like a Nidalee or an Ahri or something like has a charm or a spear or something like that, a higher range skill shot, you'll see a lot of people flame people for missing majority of those. The funny thing is that's fine. These abilities aren't really designed to be hit every single time. If you do literally land every single one, it would be insane, right? You're not really designed to land every single one. The point of Nidalee eventually is you will throw a lot of spears and you will miss probably majority of your spears. But the spears that you hit, that is when you need to take the initiative and use that advantage of you finally landing a spear. It's the same with Ahri. You finally landing that charm, you go for that play. I think there are a lot of League players out there for some reason expect people to always land every single skill shot no matter what. Alright, so Echo does ultimate away, sorry, ultimates then flashes away, and he will survive another gank. And quite hard to gank an Echo. For an assassin, he has incredibly high survival tools. Udyr bot lane again. Aphelios, though, does survive this time, which is good. You don't want... well, Aphelios, very, very scary champion, but easy to do, I would say, not great on. He is very high skill. And I think that is predominantly the problem with that champion. You know, we are in Grandmaster Master, the rating of this game at the moment, so you'd expect him to do well, but it's not free. He's much harder, let's say, to play than even equivalent hyper carries. Nidalee going for this play is interesting to me. So she just straight up murders that Udyr, which honestly, I'm even surprised. I think the Udyr would have been. I don't think, no, well, maybe just the Nidalee player knew, but that's a lot of burst that just came out. Yes, Udyr was low, but there's a reason that Udyr thought he could take the fight. But yeah, no, Nidalee damage very, very high. Echo having kind of all the pressure he wants in the world, health advantage goes over to him, and if, you know, misposition happens, then he is in trouble, is the victor. Nidalee might be able to get here for a gank. Will she just chase him down? Echo's still about. He's got ultimate coming back up in the next couple seconds, and with that, you'll see, instead of a passive Echo, you'll probably see a bit more confidence. Meanwhile, bot lane does a big changeroo, and they actually manage to kill the Twitch, and eventually Aphelios does go down. Echo, by the way, goes for another dive, but then ultimate's away for free. Nidalee might look for a bit of a chase, but I don't think anything major is on here. There is the Echo. Ooh, it could be. She's slowed. Doesn't land the spear. Goes for the flash anyway, and will pick up the kill. So there you go. Doesn't have to land the spear. She still goes for the play because she saw the kill was available. That's sometimes the thing that you need to do. Landing the spear should guarantee you those type of kills, but even if you don't land the spear, well, it's not the end of the world, is what I've got to say. So she's going to go back. I don't know if I'm crazy, by the way, but I swear I saw the Nidalee have a blasting wand, but maybe I'm absolutely nuts. So she may... Oh, did she? She might have. So she's gone for Night Harvester. My only thing of maybe she did have a blasting wand was she planning on going a different... Was she going a different item? I should be able to check, by the way, if like she did without going back. If I find the game on a website, I should be able to see. Nard getting Gangplank killed again. Again, that's not good by the Gangplank. Right, is it this game? It is this game. So potential gank on here for Nidalee. Big spear, doesn't hit. Is that going to put the Nidalee off? Probably not. Red Smite down. Procs it with the auto. Dark Harvest procs and gets herself a 300 gold shutdown. The only negative of this timing is the dragon, which is infernal, has respawned, or is spawned, and clearly Nidalee probably isn't going to be around for that. So Nidalee's build, from what I can see, it's loading, because it is... Yeah, she did. So Nidalee had a blasting wand. So I will say that isn't great. But buying an item, you know, in the early game and selling it is not good. So she bought it at 3 minutes in the game and sold it at 8 minutes. Again, why would she do that? My only thought process is she was planning on going an item involving Blasting Wand. Hits the spear. Echo has to go away. He might ult return, which he does. Nidalee? I don't even know who got that. I think they got it. Yeah, Nidalee did get it. So mistake made by Echo. Recovers Gangplank, gives him a kill. Not really sure. Again, I think that Echo was a bit too confident, which I will say a lot of Echoes are very confident players. And yeah, Rift Herald you straight in mid lane, no questions asked. Twitch, as you can see, the pings, he's on his way mid lane. He's doing the typical Twitch thing again. Will Victor get caught out? Looks maybe okay. And I think Twitch just did ping that he's bot lane again. So he's changed his mind going to mid, and there he is. He's back. But yeah, so far, kind of nice game. Again, reminding people the start to the game was really bad for blue team. Normally, when you have that bad a start, the higher rating you go, sometimes the game just feels like it's over. Well, Nidalee, she didn't kind of put her head down. She just played well. And she's got herself properly back into the game. She's 5-2-1, been involved in 6 kills, 106 farming very, very nicely. And she's very strong. You know, the only one that she probably wouldn't be able to like one combo, well, Echo if he gets his ultimate off, but Twitch is definitely dead if she lands a spear on him. Even Gnar in mini form is definitely subject to being killed at the moment. You just saw, by the way, Gangplank dying again in top lane. I'm not sure, maybe the guy just doesn't play Gangplank or something. I can have a bit of a check if, again, my interest has been piqued. So I'll look at the Gnar first. So the Gnar is a master player. And Gnar is the most played champion that the guy has, but he hasn't got many games. The guy's got less than 200 games played, or around 200 games played. That's not many games. And Gnar, his most played champion, only 20 games. So not very many. Versus the Gangplank. The Gangplank is Grandmaster, And Gangplank is his 4th most played champion, but with a negative win rate. So again, clearly, and a negative KD. So probably just not the best Gangplank. Is mainly a Jace player. Ornn is his next played champion but with a negative win rate. And then realistically, it's Aurelia. So his 2 climbing champions are Jace and Aurelia. So, yeah. Alright, so Nidalee. Zhonya's potential next item, by the way, which is not a bad one. There's an Udyr who's ganking bot lane. Gangplank is dead again, by the way. So, like, so far, how are they going to win this game? Really big Renata ultimate, but not big enough. Nidalee going to go in the back line, see what she can do. Lands the Dark Harvest. I'm not loving this engage, it has to be said, but Victor is here. Lands the spear. Victor ultimate. What can Nidalee do? 1 kill. With then the Aphelios getting 1, with then the Victor getting 1, you get 1 each, the 3 carries, and they do manage a nice cleanup. Echo of all champions is late to the roaming party, which always is quite rare. But there we go, that was a nice cleanup. Very nice. So again, throws a spear randomly in a bush. Why? Well, there could be Echo in there. Instead, Echo goes over and protects the tier 2. But again, that's good awareness that Nidalee is just throwing a spear in that bush, because he could have been there. That's the thing. It's what you are trying to predict. If he was there, you hit the spear, well, then you start the fight with him being like half health. Which is good. So yeah, Zhonya's rush second item, which I partially like, because again, Udyr is annoying. Gnar is getting more fed than he probably should, so that'll be more AD damage than you're expecting a Gnar to do. And obviously, yes, there is a Twitch. All right, so jungle clear. Continuously, like whenever we do high rating spectates, obviously of the high rating players, one of the things that is very noticeable is gank farm. It kind of goes together. They're never, as we've always said, they're never just sitting in a bush for a minute. You know, you see that sometimes in the lower ranks when you're watching. And by the way, we will start doing viewer spectates again. I've just been a bit, again, life has been a bit chaotic recently. But yeah, we'll be doing viewer spectates. And sometimes when you're watching kind of the more average tiers of play, you know, gold, silver, plat, people do just wait in a bush for a while. Big damage, and that is the Nidalee that we all know. Twitch, again, being a little bit cocky. I'm not sure, maybe he just didn't think they would quite go for that, but it's Nidalee, man. Like, do not doubt that champion in SOLOQ. They are nuts. So really nice pick there, really, by Nidalee. Echo in the area, goes on all in. Perfect use of Zhonya's. With then the burst, walks away. Unfortunate Renata misses her Q from flashing, but she did get the Echo flash. And yeah, that was an all-in, really, from the Echo. Used Ignite, ult, flash, didn't get a kill. And that is also another use of the Zhonya's. Well, there's an Echo. You know, technically, Zhonya's is an AD armor item, sorry. But it's a counter one-shot item, too. And champions like Echo, Assassins, that, you know, as we've said a few times, they can still one-shot. You know, Riot has not got rid of one-shots. Nidalee, don't think she'll be able to do much here. Enemy team is then going to get themselves 3 dragon advantage, which is a big deal. Enemy team, though, on the back foot. So, yes, they're getting themselves a dragon advantage, but are they giving themselves a death disadvantage? Twitch gets one shot. Aphelios doing long-range deeps. Gnar even on the back foot, and remember, the Gnar is really strong. Nidalee going to try and chase down. Whoa, that leap was nuts! And yeah, so this is basically near enough an ace. I think the Gnar will survive. But yeah, nearly an ace for that dragon. You could say in some ways worth for red team if they do complete the dragon soul in the next dragon. You know, the Udyr is actually turning into having quite a bad game. He had a really good start, but he was I think he was like 2-0-2 or something, and now he's 2-7-3. So he's gained like 7 deaths, and in that time, he's only gained 1 assist. So again, not the best game from him, but what I've always said, if you're a jungler that's not having a bad game, what you can do is focus objectives hard. Focus the Rift Herald, focus the dragons, because you're innately giving your team strength, even if you're not having the best ganking game. But obviously, yeah, Udyr, the champion, very much is feeling his age. He should, by the way, again, I don't have crazy inside knowledge about the Udyr rework. I'm hoping to learn about it properly pretty soon. It has to be soon. There are some rumors here or there, which again, I can say rumors. You know, yes, I am a NDA league partner that finds information early, but I don't know this information from an NDA or being told by Riot. There is a rumor that the Udyr rework is coming out in August. So we're not too far away from that. And if it's coming out in August, we should learn about it soon. Again, right now, it kind of also aligns in some ways because Riot is having their summer break right now, and after their summer break, it would be quite likely to hear about either a new champion or a new rework, which would be Udyr. So considering they released 2 champions pretty close together, I think the rework is next, and that's where I do think Udyr will be getting released, which I'm very interested in him, by the way. A modern Udyr does sound cool, like a druid that changes forms. If it isn't just a kind of more boring run-out champion, I'm all for it. And I don't think it will be, because again, those type of playstyles, they're not the most healthy for League, and they're typically only strong if items are a little bit outbalanced. It's the same, you know, Garen as a champion isn't that strong, but what makes him okay is items. Tryndamere, again, not that strong, but items. It's kind of it seems to be the thing at the moment. All right, so Gangplank, the good thing that Gangplank is trying to do at least is he's trying to keep himself semi-relevant. Baron has been started. Oh, okay, this is interesting. I'm not sure about this. Have they? I don't know if they saw Udyr bot lane. Maybe I missed that. Echo is in the area, and he's always scary around Barons. But yes, you have a pretty strong Aphelios absolutely annihilating it. Echo probably will go for the steal. Tam's even coming for it. Knocks up the Nidalee. Here we go. Ooh, that was even quite close. Twitch, that's suicidal by that Twitch. So the enemy team is here. Twitch actually gets killed to the Aphelios. Udyr focusing the Nidalee hard. Nidalee is fine. Well, not fine, but dead. But in that whole time, nobody focused the Aphelios and the Victor and realistically the Gangplank. The enemy team seemed to focus a Renata and a Nidalee. Not the best focus there by them, and especially, I don't know if you guys saw it, the Twitch flashed into the pit. Now, in some ways you can understand it, you know, oh, I need to make sure I'm constantly doing DPS, but flashing into a pit as a Twitch or any AD carry is very risky. Again, there was a blasting plant, I believe, up. Maybe he could have gone into there, and when he got in trouble, he could have flashed out. But yeah, that Baron, I'll be honest, was kind of nuts. I don't know if Nidalee was the one to call that. I'm not entirely sure. But whoever actually called that, big brain. I'm guessing they did see Udyr in bot lane, and, you know, again, the nature of Udyr. Any champion that is a running mechanic champion who doesn't have innate real big mobility, like, yes, Udyr's got movement speed, but he doesn't have a dash or a jump. He's got Ghost this game. He cannot get into the pit very easily. So it's always an advantage to do something like a Dragon or a Baron against something like Udyr with Ghost, because he's going to struggle. Like, that's the point. If he's on the Baron and his team starts it, or if he's on the Dragon already, he's okay because he's already there. But if the enemy team starts it, he's at a huge disadvantage. Tam getting half health, Echo getting a kill on Gangplank. Again, Gangplank is continuously struggling this game, as we can tell. Split push, which again tends to be the thing that happens all the time nowadays in League, is my team is starting to lose the game. That was kind of funny. My team's losing the game. What do I do as a top laner? I'm just going to split push. That is the answer to bad play, or whatever you want to call it nowadays. Happens practically every game. So even though, yes, he's breaking into the base, this Dragon needs to be done, because if they ignored it, that would have then been Dragon Soul for red team. And, you know, it's Mountain Dragon Soul. It's not the strongest Dragon Soul, but you still don't want to give it to them. 3 level advantage, by the way, for Nidalee. She did get vision of someone just lurking in the bush, and it's a Twitch. Nidalee very strong, chasing down the enemy team, landing spears as they run away. Obviously, just reminding, Nidalee has increased movement speed with Cougar form, etc. So it's honestly also quite hard to get away from her. And I think she even gains movement speed when she goes in bushes, if memory serves correct. Is that true? I think that's true. I vaguely remember that. Nidalee gains 10% movement speed for 2 seconds while entering a bush or brush, and then increase to 30% movement speed while moving towards an enemy champion. So yeah, she gets 30% movement speed if she's in a bush running at enemies. So again, really hard to get away from her, you know, especially if she was even in Cougar form. That's where Nidalee is so strong sometimes in SOLOQ, because she's a really good early game jungler. Fast clear, good damage in the early game, gets involved quite easily, and then also when she builds up an early lead, which she is designed to do, you then can't get away from the champion too. So that kind of just builds that package of strong early game solo queue jungler. She's not the best team champion, you know, she's not the best team fighter, so that is the negative of it, but that's the thing, in solo queue you don't have to be. a Nidalee player is looking to build an advantage early by good ganks and basically just stomp the game before team fights even are really a thing. Or if team fights are a thing, even though Nidalee isn't a team fighting champion, she's so strong that when she lands one spear in a team fight on an AD carry, well, they're either dead or they're very close to being dead. So it doesn't really matter that she's not a team fighting AD carry, because that's not what she's trying to do. Echo absolutely one-shots Renata, but again, that is the problem with what the enemy team are doing. Echo got killed. He had ultimate up, didn't use it. They keep focusing the wrong targets. Twitch on the side, just kind of getting annihilated, to be honest. Tam going in. Aphelios got a kill. Nidalee gets another one. Just very smart play. You'll see also reserved play sometimes. The Nidalee doesn't want to always go all in. She did go all in there, which could be the bane of her, but no, she flashes away. Good dodge from the Gnar, and now that is basically the game. So 11-3, 11 Nidalee. Remember, a really bad start, both for Nidalee. The Gangplank didn't really fully recover, but he was useful. But yeah, even the Aphelios recovered this game really well. Again, look out for that champion. He is very strong in the right hands. But yeah, Nidalee, an absolute demon. I would literally call her one of the demons of SOLOQ, with the caveat of if it's a Nidalee player. If you throw a random player or a Nidalee, probably not going to be that good. It's to me, it's the equivalent of like AD Shaco players. Like if I see an AD Shaco player nowadays, like a few years ago, I wouldn't have cared. Nowadays, if you've kept with Shaco after all the craziness of the last few years, and he's been really good, he's been really bad, but if you still play him, some of the best solo queue players that I've seen in like literally this season are Nidalee players or Shaco players. I would say specifically AD Shaco players, the AP ones. A lot of them don't actually seem to be Shaco players, like from the long term. They have picked up the champions since the AP variant has become a thing. The AD Shaco players are, again, the demons. But yeah, there you go. Nidalee, look to play the champion or pick up the champion if you are considering wanting to solo climb a little bit easier, if you believe your individual skill could carry you through ranks. You do need to be, again, Nidalee is not one of those champions that you can kind of just kick back in the early game and kind of go, I'm going to scale, just give me a bit of time, don't let my team feed. No, Nidalee, you need to be proactive. You need to actually take the initiative in the early game and get ahead. You will struggle if you don't. But there we go. If you guys enjoy, do throw a like on it, throw a comment, throw a subscribe. Again, back to live commentaries very, very soon. I believe tomorrow's main video will be a POV commentary, and then after that, should be back to live commentaries. Again, with my birthday and everything, it's just been a bit of a mess. We also, in the house, you probably heard, but I had plumbing issues, so I had all that going on as well. So yeah, but hopefully you guys don't mind. Again, I do upload 2 videos a day every day, and I have done for years. So even if half a week is a bit bleh, hopefully you can cut me a slack a bit. But anyway, that's gonna be it. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys next time. Goodbye.
Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace, restore our glory to live forever. Bring down the dark regime. I know how to unleash eternal power. Lead us to order.